Alrighty, just doing a quick little mic check here. Sounds all good. Now, apologies, I am going to step away for just a second. I'm going to go to the restroom before this gets started. That way we aren't interrupted halfway through. Alrighty, welcome back, everybody. I am just getting all of my stuff set up for the stream. It was kind of a late call. I am filling in for somebody, so it's gonna just be a minute to get everything set up. I got get my the track map out and all my little notes. For people who tuned in yesterday, you guys know that I do have notes. Alrighty. So, welcome everybody. This is Tier 3, if I think I got that right. Um, we are racing in Australia today. We have a short qualifying session, 10 laps of a sprint race, and 29 laps of the feature race, as you can see down in the bottom left-hand corner. Now, I do apologize. I'm not familiar with this tier, so it's going to take me a minute to get used to everybody and their names and all that. And if I'm saying someone's name wrong, feel free to correct me. And for any of those of you, anyone who watched the Tier 2 stream yesterday, that is, I am the same commentator from yesterday. So, and I will be commentating tomorrow as well. I think Tier 6. So, get used to my voice. You're going to be hearing it a lot this week. But welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Apologies, everyone. I'm just trying to find the Tier 3 chat. Can't seem to find it. Well, right now we only have, I think, one viewer in here, and I think that actually could be me, just watching the stream. But I do appreciate everybody for tuning in, whether that's watching the stream back later or maybe watching it on YouTube. Uh, I do appreciate everyone who tuning in. Before we get started, let me just kind of give everybody a rundown of what this is, so for anyone who is not familiar. This is Global Speed Racing League. We race on the weekdays at 7 p.m. UK time. We have 8 tiers of racing. I am in tier 8, and we race on equal performance, so it is truly up to the driver. And if you want to join, I do believe that our Discord is in our bio, so go and click that and go say hi. And it is currently 2 past 7 UK time, so I think we're just waiting on a couple more people to join. And like I say, keep saying welcome anybody who is tuning in. We're just waiting on the race to get started here. So uh, if anybody has any questions for me or just wants to say hi in chat, please feel free to say hi, and I'll definitely say hi back. I apologize for the delay. We will be getting started soon. I can see people starting to ready up now. So we are just waiting on some couple other people to join the lobby here. It is 4 past 7 UK time, and we should be start. Looks like we're going to be starting soon. Looks like we have 19 drivers. Well, we have 18 in here right now. There's another driver that'll be joining us mid-quali, so it's still a short qualifying, even with 18 drivers. I'm not quite sure why they're going with that, but it's up to the lobby host on this one. So they are going with a short qualifying, which means it's going to be, I'm pretty sure, 18 minutes with 18 minutes of qualifying. Wherever you qualify when the checkered flag is thrown, that's where you qualify. There is no Q1, Q2, or Q3. And I apologize if I don't seem as enthusiastic as yesterday. I am a little tired. So bear with me here. I was not supposed to be commentating today, so please bear with me. But welcome in everybody. We have a couple viewers here. If anyone has any predictions in the chat, please feel free to write them down in chat. Who you think is going to win? Who you think is going to get pole position? Who you think is going to win the sprint? Remember, it is a sprint weekend, so we have 10 laps of the Australian Grand Prix under a sprint, which will define the order for the feature race. And here we go. I'm guessing there's gonna be just mostly the drivers just putting on their setups and just getting out there just to put a banker lap in. You never know what can happen, so it's key to get a banker lap in, just in case you damage the car, you get crashed into. So looks like both Ferraris are going to be coming out now, and so are the two Mercedes cars. Let's right on board, and actually the Alfa Romeo is coming out as well. Let's get everything set up here. So yeah, so it looks like the Alfa Romeo is on an outlap, the Ferrari of Expert Bubbles is on an outlap, Vedano, I think as I say it, is on an outlap. Jam RTY23 is on an outlap. The other Ferrari of Kelders is on an outlap, and we have, I think that's it for right now. No other movement in the garage. So that's both Mercedes, both Ferrari, and the Alfa Romeo. And we will ride on board. I think it's Expert Bubble. Yeah, he's going to be the first one to cross the line to start his flying lap. It looks like we have Aston Martin of Connor Opmeer and Shiny Rolex of the McLaren leaving their garages to start their outlaps. It's really crucial here to get the tires in the right temperature. With even though it's a relatively shorter lap time, it's just key to have those tires in the right temperature. And tire pressure is key around here. You could really easily overheat the tires on a track like this. So it is really key to make sure you keep those tires in a working window. As Expert Bubbles starts his first flying lap of the qualifying, he will run into, I believe, some traffic of an Alpine and a Haas in front of him. That is the Alpine of, I believe, yeah, Tangerine Guy. Oh, and it looks like his lap was invalidated, so we're going to go down to RTY23. He's the next guy down the road who will put in a time as long as he keeps it within track limits here. Nice job coming out of turn 4 and 5, keeping it nice and smooth. Now I believe a lot of these drivers are mixed between controllers and wheels, so you're gonna see a mix of controller and wheel. So it'll be interesting to see the drivers' times as they go, especially as someone from Tier 8 myself. I want to see how my times compare against them. It's going to be nowhere close, obviously, but I am interested to see. It looks like RTY is setting a pretty good second and third sector here. He was purple in the first sector, but that's also because he was the first car over. So let's see what the first lap is going to look like as he comes across the straight out of turn 14, opens up that DRS. Just get a little bit of extra boost down, and it's going to be 117.7. Not a bad lap at all. Not a bad lap. It is a very good banker lap. However, I'm not very familiar with Tier 3, to be honest, so I do not know what the times are supposed to be looking like. His teammate coming across the line, what can his teammate do? Oh, that is not a good lap for his teammate. He messed up somewhere, so he must have been doing maybe 2 warm-up laps there, because a 126 is 9 seconds off his teammate. A couple other drivers to cross the line. We have Pathy Boy, who is starting his flying lap. His teammate, Energy Beam, is starting his flying lap. It's the second lap that he's doing because he invalidated his first one. We have Jake Kelders, I believe, is a 118.1. We have Connor, I keep wanting to call him Garno Opmeer. Connor Opmeer, 119.0. Shiny Rolex with a 117.73. Ooh, running very wide there. Probably a little bit of damage to the front wing. Jessix 308 with a 117.7. So all pretty close. We're gonna take a look here at the gap. Yeah, separated, top 3 separated by less than a tenth. Very, very close. We'll take a look at Pathy Boy, who did invalidate his lap here. Where's Mess042? He's coming through the first sector here. How's his first sector going to look? It is purple in the first sector for Me0412. Call him Mies. We'll take a look at Tangerine Guy, who I'm pretty sure is... Yeah, he's starting his lap here. Let's right on board with him, see how he's doing. Maybe give him a little pressure to see if he's listening in. Nice and clean through turns 6, 7, and 8, keeping it very much on track, and it looks like Energy Beam sets a 117.5. Definitely the lap to beat there. And as he comes through turn 9 and 10, keeps it nice. A little bit of an oversteer moment there, but nothing to be too concerned about. And he is coming up to some traffic here. Hopefully the traffic... Oh, that is not something you want to see there. It looks like the Ferrari definitely just came across there. I think it was Expert Bubbles came across there just out of nowhere, and not very nice in my opinion. Kendrick guy goes 3/10 off the leaderboard, so not a bad lap for him, but definitely needs some things to work out. Poppy Boy 2. Let's see how he does it in the third sector here. Pretty sure his teammate has invalidated this lap twice, so he's going to be the... You want to make sure he keeps it on, so that way Alfa Romeo is going to be scoring some points if his teammate keeps continuing down the path that he's going on. Nice job coming out of turn 13 and 14, keeping the understeer under control. Let's see how he does as he comes to the line here, and he goes second fastest. I apologize, that's right, his teammate Energy Beam went fastest. So right now the Alfa Romeos are looking really, really tough here. Really tough to beat. We'll right on board with Expert Bubbles here as he comes through the second sector. Is his second sector going to be fast? It is fast the second sector here. Let's see what he can do as he comes through the third sector. I'm not sure if that's traffic in front of him or if that's someone on an actual lap. And Flying Slug in the Red Bull does a 117.3 to beat Energy Beam's time. That's a very, very good lap there. Obviously the track is improving, so I think this is going to be one of those situations where it's going to be the last driver out there. It's going to get the most fastest time in my opinion. And Extra Bubbles goes P11, 6/10 off the time there. Oh, let's see. So we have AGK Racing here coming through the third sector. Has not set a time. He needs to make sure to give space to that. He's gonna just let all the cars pass in front of him. Maybe get a little bit of a tow. See what he can do. He's one of the only drivers who hasn't set a lap yet. Let's see what he can do on his lap. We're going to right on board with him because he's one of the only drivers who's starting a flying lap. So let's see what he can do. He's going to experience a little bit of traffic coming out of the pit lane, but nice job to get out of the way here. Pretty sure that's a Ferrari in front of him. I think that's the Ferrari of Kelders there. As he comes through turn 3 and into turn 4, you want to make sure to keep that throttle under control to get it. You don't want to get a lot of understeer, and that curve on the outside of turn 4 is very, very deadly. It can make you bottom out, and it's just not a fun feeling. It comes through the long straight. It was adjusted in 2022 to get rid of the little chicane in the second sector to just have it one flat out sector, essentially. As it comes through turns 9 and 10, gotta keep the car under control. Make sure you don't invalidate your lap there, because that is one place you can. Keeps it nice and clean through the second sector. Let's see what he can do through the third. Shifts down nicely, keeps the car under control, no oversteer. Comes through turn 12 and turn 13. There's another big chance of oversteer if you get on the throttle too early. He does upshift a little, short shift a little bit to avoid some amount of wheel spin. And where does he go? He goes P11, 6/10 off the pace here. Let's see, who else is on flying laps? It looks like Connor Hopmere is on a flying lap here. How's he going to do through the first sector? He is a 10th up on his time, but it's nowhere close to pole position, so he's going to need to put together a really good second and third sector if he wants to show any signs of improvement or life into the top 10 here. As he comes through turns 9 and 10, what is he going to do? Is he going to... Looks like he goes purple in the second sector there. Gets the DRS nice and open here. Want to make sure not to oversteer coming out of turn 11 here. As he comes towards turns 12 and 13, the medium hand right-hander into the slow left-hander. Keeps the car nice under control, gets back to the left-hand side, and gets on the throttle for the long straight. Maybe getting a little bit of a toe from the Alfa Romeo in front of him. Where is he going to go? Go P13, 7/10 off. He's 9/10 off on his original time. The Alpha Tower driver, Silent, is still in the pits, but we do have the Mercedes driver of Vaden, I think is how you say it, who's 9 seconds off the pace. It looks like Energy Beam has retired. I wonder if there was an incident on track. No, it looks like he's retiring on track here. Wow. Or maybe that's his teammate. And Tomos goes P1 with a 117.3. Yes, so his teammate retired. Looks like in the pits there. I wonder if he had some sort of issue with maybe his internet connection or what. But that's, this is not... this is a short quali, so... You want to set the fastest time towards the end because this is the only qualifying session you will get. As Vaden comes through the third sector, it looked like he was purple through the second sector, which is showing some sort of improvement here. Obviously, he's 9 seconds off the pace, so he's going to really want to put in a good lap here. As he comes through turn 14, you don't want to get on the power too early, otherwise you'll get some amount of oversteer. As he opens up that DRS, comes to the line here. Where is he going to place? Only P15, 1.3 seconds off the pace. But definitely improvement on his current 9 seconds off the pace, so on his last flying. So definitely an improvement that he wants to see. Looks like Connor Ottmere is starting another lap here. He is on the same set of tires that he set his previous lap on, maybe just, and that is not something you want to see there. Just had a whole lot of oversteer coming out of turn 1 and into turn 2, and he looked like he's lucky he didn't wreck his rear end there, because that is definitely a spot where you can do that. There's a Williams on an outlap behind him, not affected by the yellow flags there. Expert Bubbles, it looks like he is going into the pits, and Pathy Boy, that is not something you want to see. But Pathy Boy 2 also retires. I wonder if there's some internet issues with the Alfa Romeo boys, or if they just believe they can't go any faster. And it looks like he is just getting out of the way into the grass to avoid. Maybe, okay, good. There's no contact there, but that Ferrari is very, very dirty there. Let's see, is there anyone else on flyers? Looks like RTY23 is on a flyer here. Let's see what he can do. Keeping it nice and smooth through turn 3 and 4. You don't want to ride that curb on the outside there too much. You will bottom out. The Alpine of Tangerine guy keeping it nice and smooth. Let's see how his time is in the second sector here. He's 2/10 down on his time, so obviously not that much of an improvement here. He needs to spring together a nice third sector, an almost perfect third sector, if he wants to show any signs of improvement here. He is in P10, so at least starting in the points position. But it will come down to the sprint and feature race where the points are really handed out. And obviously the sprint race is only the top 8 drivers score points, so he's technically outside the points for the sprint race. And he only improved by 1/100th of a second, so not that much of an improvement. However, Pinky237 is only about 1/100th off him, so if he can do that again, he can move up to P9. Let's see if there's anyone else on flyers. Looks like Mies is on a flyer here coming through the third sector. He's 1/10 up on his time. How is he going to fare when it comes to the checkered flag. Currently, that would not improve him, but he will improve. He had a mighty third sector, so that will improve him up to P11 behind Tangerine Guy. And Connor Otmere, did he have an incident, or is he retiring in the pits there? A lot of drivers retiring, thinking that they maybe can improve. Or I am just not sure. Let's take a look at the Haas driver of Ben here as he starts his flying lap. And he has his teammate maybe giving him a little. That was a little bit of a late move from his teammate there of Tomo's. But at least his teammate got out of the way for him there. Keeps nice and clean through the first sector. How is he going to fare on his sector time? That's a 26.9. It's only 300ths down on his time. So definitely some time to improve. Kept it pretty even through the first sector. However, there's a lot of corners in the first sector, so that is some time to make up. But in my opinion, where you make up the most of your time is in the third sector. 5/100ths down on his time. There is a minute and 30 left in the session, so all the drivers who are maybe hoping to improve are going out now. Just get the most of that track time as possible to get maybe that track evolution. I am honestly surprised that there aren't more drivers out on the out there, but looks like there's just some drivers still in the pits. Working Ben go. He does go above Jesse, so Jesse is on an out lap. The top three is separated by under a tenth here. It's mighty impressive from these drivers. Let's take a look at Tomo's here. Let's right on board with him as he approaches his teammate. Actually, he's also approaching an Alpha Tauri. Hopefully, Alpha Tauri will be smart enough to get out of the way. I wonder if that Alpha Tauri is no, that's silent, but I don't think he'll have enough time to get across the checkered flag here. Tomo's is 5/100ths up on his time, and had a big moment of oversteer, and I think that's going to be it for him here. Yeah, he's not going to complete that lap. That was a big moment of oversteer. Jesse C, he's starting his first flyer, or his second flyer. Hopefully get up in the top three here for the sprint. Take a look at some other drivers maybe crossing the line here. That's Kelder starting his lap. So we might have a McLaren on a flying lap here as he comes across into the third sector. What can he do coming towards the checkered flag? And that is the checkered flag waved silent. Will start P18. Was not able to get a lap in. Where can this McLaren go? P10. He moves out Tangerine Guy. Let's see who else is coming across. We have Tomo's coming across the line. Can he improve his time at all to secure his pole position? Oh, that's right. He had a moment, so he's not going to be improving. Flying Slug does not look like he's improving at the moment here, but he's going to want to really try and nail this third sector to see if he can get pole position for the sprint race. So what can he do as he... Oh, he is going to go into the pits, and he's just going to take that P2. Hopefully he can get a good start. Looks like Pinky2370 coming across the line. Is he going to improve on his time? Oh, no, he is not. He's 17 seconds off. And Shiny Rolex is going to come across the line. He invalidated his lap, so that is it for him as well. And that is your qualifying, ladies and gentlemen, here. You have Tomo's in P1, Flying Slug of the Red Bull in P2, and Ben, the other Haas, in P3. Those are your top three drivers, all separated by less than a tenth. A lot to play for out here. A lot to play for. So as the qualifying time ticks down, looks like everybody is has completed their laps here. Also, anyone in chat, can you let me know if the volume's okay? I've been fiddling with my volume settings from my own stream, so just want to make sure the volume is alright. If anyone can let me know. Let's take a look here. Were there any incidents? Invalidated lap time, cross the... Okay, that's not bad. Terminal damage. So Energy Beam, the Alpha, both of them had terminal damage. So they must have crashed on their lap here. And we moved towards the 10 lap sprint race. And it looks like we have intermediate conditions for the sprint race. I wonder if this rain will let up here. Oh, it looks like these drivers are starting on the slick tires. That it definitely looks like a wet track there. It looks like the weather is going to clear up in 3 laps, so it looks like the slick tires may be the smartest tire to go on. And my confidential informant, one of the drivers who I am listening to, right, or who I am talking to right now, is telling me inters are faster, but you cannot get probably enough time to pull out. And on intermediates, the pit in front of the drivers that you are trying to overtake. So slick tires definitely probably are the smartest. There is probably going to be a crazy show going into turn 1 and into turn 3. So we will we're going to ride on board with Flying Slug here. He's just trying to get some heat into those tires there. If we take a look at his MFD, it looks like his tires are still very, very cold here. We will pull up everything we need to. So only one driver starting on the softs. And for the start, we're going to clear the UI. We're just going to watch this start, and we're going to admire the glory of a race start here. We're waiting for the lights, and the lights are coming on here. Are we going to have some, oh, drive-through penalty for Ben here. And the pole sitter, oh, the pole sitter gets overtaken here, but the other Haas driver got a jump start here, so he's going to have to serve a drive-through penalty. Is there carnage going on back here? It looks like a Mercedes had spun and made contact with one of the Alfa Romeos here. Now, Not as much carnage as there was yesterday in turn two. Drivers being a lot more reserved, understanding that they're on the slick tires in my opinion, intermediate conditions. So they're being very reserved. They want to finish this race. They're not sending it, so that's very good. I want to hopefully see a clip of what happened to the Mercedes back there, but that is a bummer for the Haas driver. That's a jump start. I wonder if it was just an accident. Yeah, it looks like Pathy Boy, the driver who started on the soft tires, that did not turn out very well for him there. But hopefully he'll be able to make up some time here. As the tires are colder, they're not degrading as faster, so hopefully his tires will be able to stay relatively okay. It looks like there's a little bit of carnage down at the back here. Was there a Williams in the Alfa Romeo maybe making some contact? Yep, there goes Ben to serve his drive-through. And Flying Slug, the Red Bull driver, takes the lead of the sprint race here. And oh, looks like there's a lot of carnage back here. It looks like there's some debris on track here. So it looks like Flying Slug is keeping the this lead pretty well, and Boss's 980 gets a 3-second, and Ben gets a 3. Oh wow, Ben, that is just not a good day for Ben there. This is do we have a retirement on track? Maybe a spin down with the Mercedes. Is he retiring? No, maybe he just had a little bit of a moment here. We'll go to the mid-pack here. Looks like there's a lot of stuff going on here in the mid-pack. Maybe a little bit of contact there between Bosses and Expert Bubbles. But Tangerine Guy up into P6. He's definitely the big winner out of all of this. He pretty sure he started P11, so... oh, big moment for that Ferrari there. But no safety cars, not a lot of carnage, so that is at least decent compared to what I saw yesterday in Tier 2. Tomos takes the fastest lap, but Jesse behind him takes it. Maybe Tomos is going to try and overtake Flying Slug here for the lead of this sprint race. Only 8 points on the line here, but it is the pole position for tomorrow, and Expert Bubbles gets a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. We'll take a look at the mid-pack back here as well. Connor Ottmere gets a 3-second time penalty for track limits here. Actually, surprisingly, with the whole track limits, Bosses gets another 3-second time penalty here. I wonder if they're just battling and just causing them to go wide, and they're just getting pinged for track limits here. And it looks like Tomos does take the lead of this race from Flying Slug here. It's right on board. Energy Beam wants to overtake Flying Slug here, going down into turn 11. And looks like Flying Slug will maintain P2 here, trying to go catch Tomos here, trying to get that lead back from that Haas driver. And RTY23, another a 3-second time penalty for track limits here. Tangerine Guy maybe maybe looking to make a move on P23.7 here. And it looks like DRS is available. But Tangerine Guy does not have a lot of ERS here, so he's going to have to hopefully hope that DRS is enough to get past him. I do think he's a little too far back here. Yeah, he's going to keep it. Wow, everyone just getting time penalties here. Flying Slug able to get away from Energy Beam here, but the track definitely looks like it's maybe drying up a little bit with the help of those cars on track. Maybe those drivers able to push just a little bit more. And it looks like Flying Slug is just being patient behind him here. He's just also trying to fend off from Energy Beam here, who is trying to overtake going into turn 9 and 10. Not the place you really want to overtake here. Might try and get a better run. But Flying Slug does have that benefit of DRS to kind of help him not be overtaken so easily by that Alfa Romeo behind him. Obviously, the Alfa Romeo is quick. He's had a couple overtaking opportunities here. Looks like we have a yellow flag here, and it's the other Alfa Romeo who has spun. Looks like Jesse is actually trying to make a move on the Alfa Romeo here down into turn 1. Is he going to do it? No, he's going to be patient. He's going to slot back behind that Alfa Romeo here. Obviously, he can see that the Alfa Romeo is low on the RS here. But I think I think that might just be the rain light. But yeah, there's a little bit of carnage here. Just a lot of these drivers in the mid-pack, just small things of contact. These wet conditions are not helping these drivers at all. We'll see if this AGK Racing can make a move on the Alpine here. But it looks like RTY is going to, and there's the safety car. I think there might have been an incident. We'll see if we can see that. Yeah, a lot of debris there coming out of turn 5. Definitely safety car warranted in these conditions here. I wonder if anyone's going to pit for soft tires. See if anyone jumps into the pits here for soft tires. Maybe some of the back runners here, just to maybe help get an extra jump. Will anyone go to the pits? Looks like Flying Slug maybe? No, no one's going in. Let's take a look here. No one. See if Expert Bubbles or Bosses 980 comes in. It looks like there might be teasing a little bit. The Aston Martin goes in of Connor Ottmere. Wonder if he has any damage. So let's take a look at Connor Ottmere. Is he gonna pit onto the soft tires? He is gonna pit onto those soft tires. Looks like Mercedes, or the McLaren of Shiny Rolex, and the Mercedes of Connor Ottmere and Pathy Boy is pitting for a new set of softs probably. We're gonna enjoy this the safety car period to breathe a little bit. I'm gonna mute myself because my throat or my voice is starting to hurt a little bit. So we're gonna try and save as much as I can for the race as well. Looks like safety car will be in this lap. Let's right on board with Flying Slug here. He's definitely going to want to maybe make a move. That track is definitely dry, which means those soft tire runners are going to have the ultimate grip compared to maybe these medium runners. Let's see what Flying Slug can do. I want to keep an eye on Connor Ottmere. He's going to be the driver who is heading up those soft tire runners. I want to see what he can do when it comes to the soft tires. When is Tomo's gonna go? It looks like he's gone. He is away. Not a bad start from Tomo, so Flying Slug was able to stick with him. Energy Beam kind of lost out on the start there. Oh, and we have a lot of contact in the back there. Mee's out. And it looks like we have a McLaren driver that's spun. Is there any damage? Yeah, the Mees has damage there. Oh, that is not good there. But no safety car within the last couple laps here, so these drivers are just going to have to fight it out here. It looks like there's a yellow flag in Sector 2. Nope, it's all clear back there. So let's go check on the leaders here. Tomos is breaking away, but Flying Energy Beam, is he going to slap back behind, or is he going to try and make the move here? He's got the inside line. Is he going to... Ooh, maybe a little bit of contact there between Flying Slug and Energy Beam. Tangerine Guy up into P5 here with his Alpine teammate. Are they just going to kind of fly in formation, see if they can get this Alpha Tauri in front of them? I think there'll be one lap or maybe 2 laps of DRS, so hopefully they can make some moves here. And it looks like Connor Ottmere making some moves as well in those soft tires, but Vaden also making some moves on those soft tires. And Tomo sets the fastest lap. Not surprised. This track is completely dried up. Let's go back on board with Tangerine Guy here. Flying Slug just fighting for his life from an Alfa Romeo, an Alpha Tauri, 2 Alpines, and a Williams joining the fight pretty close there. So he is just fighting for everything he has, just trying to keep that P2, and we have a caution in Sector 3 there. It looks like the McLaren is retiring in the pits there. Not that it really matters, because the safety car won't come out in these last couple laps here. What can these drivers do as they start their second, well, as they're on their second to last lap here? Just right on board with Tangerine Guy. He is out of ERS here. He has nothing left, but is he going to make a move up to the inside of the Alpha Tauri there? He had to back out just a little bit. He's trying to use any ERS he has, but he has nothing left. Looks like there might be a little bit of a scuffle. Let's see, who was it? It was the Williams of Jesse there. Maybe made a little bit of contact with the Mercedes. Potentially DRS will be enabled for this last lap here, so the only DRS point we'll have is on the back straights here. Pathy Boy sets the fastest lap with a 120.0. Keep in mind the fastest lap does not count for these sprint races. You don't get an extra point for fastest lap, so it's all just kind of playing for fun here, but it's just showing that you do have the pace. Can Tangerine Guy do anything to get past this AlphaTauri here, just to get another place for the race start here? Using all of the ERS he has left here. Yeah, it just does not look like he has enough pace here. Is his teammate gonna do it? No, he's not. Is there going to be any dive bombs? Oh, and Vaden makes a move on the Alpine for that P6 position. I wonder if Tangerine Guy is going to be a little bit worried maybe coming out of the final corner. Is there going to be more grip for that Mercedes? Obviously just on those fresher, softer tires here. Oh, and the spin from Pathy Boy. I wonder if he just hit the wall there. And Tangerine Guy will keep his position, but Pathy Boy just spinning out the final corner, losing all those positions there. And Tomos keeps that pole position and an extra 8 points for the race. His teammate, who had a jump start at the beginning of the race, down in P12, but Flying Slug keeps that P2. He is probably breathing a little bit easier. But once again, I am going to mute myself because my voice is hurting a little bit, so I want to make sure that I'm able to commentate for you guys for the main race. If you have any questions, just put it in chat, and I'll try to do my best to answer it for you. And here we start with our formation lap. Now, if anyone in chat has any predictions, please, I'd love to hear them. Who you think is going to win this race? Let's see who's starting on what tire here. Only one driver starting on the hard tires, and that was Vaden, who made up a lot of positions on those soft tires. So I'm surprised he's trying out those hard tires. A lot of these drivers, you know, there's obviously no practice session. You know, they can practice off outside of the race, but maybe some of these drivers, these tires are unfamiliar to them when it comes to full speed, just all out racing. So maybe that hard tire, maybe he was practicing on those hard tire, maybe he's really good on those hard tires, or maybe he's just hoping for a safety car in that track position. I do believe that we will have a safety car this race. We had one in the sprint, so I can imagine that we will have one in this race as well. And we are going to ride on board with Flying Slug here, because he is going to be the one that's going to want to maybe make a dive down to the inside in turn one. Now, as we wait for the grid to form up, we're going to take a look at the driver standings here. Tomos, who's on pole position, is leading the drivers' championship with 55 points here, and Haas leading the championship with 82 points. Ferrari not that far behind them. We have Mercedes, AlphaTauri, Alpine, McLaren, Aston Martin, Williams, Red Bull, and Alfa Romeo. So obviously Red Bull wants to get up high onto the podium here to score some good points. And here come the lights here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. Here we go. Looks like it's a decent start compared to Tomos here. He's going to have the run down into turn 1 here. Is he going to take advantage of it? Yes, it looks like he is, but maybe there's a little bit of contact between them. Tomos shoving him a little bit. But I think that's just clean, hard racing here. Obviously, Flying Slug, I think, is going to take the position. Oh, there are some drivers that are out here. Expert Bubbles and the Ferrari out, and looks like there's a virtual safety car out. I wonder if the full course caution is going to come out. 5-second time penalty for Kano up here for corner cutting. Gained a place. Yeah, so we have the virtual safety car out off of lap 1. Allow some drivers to maybe save some fuel a little bit. But Flying Slug does maintain the lead once he got a good start off the line here. But there was a lot of carnage in the back there, obviously with Expert Bubbles out. And the green flag is waved there, and I don't know if I couldn't tell if Flying Slug got a good start, but Tangerine Guy is battling for position there. There's a huge battle going on back there. That's right on board with Pappy Boy. And he makes a bold move going up the inside of his teammate there. And Tangerine Guy is just falling places. He did not have a good first lap there, but his teammate Bosses 9 at 0 is looking to make a move on P237. Maybe into turn 3. I think both drivers are using their ERS. Oh, and he goes really deep there. Just outbroke himself. Yeah, that is a mistake that will always happen. And RTY already with a 3-second time penalty. It looks like we have a yellow flag, and looks like the Williams may have had a spin there. Potentially still yellow in sector 2, and it's now back to green flag running in sector 2. And looks like yellow flag, and is that going to be the other Ferrari? And another virtual safety car, so drivers will calm down for just a minute. And Jake Kelders retires from the session. That's both Ferraris out, both Ferraris scoring no points. And Tangerine Guy, how many places has he lost? Tangerine Guy's lost 7 places. Wow, that is not what you want to see there. But Vaden holding on those hard tires. He's just kind of sitting there, just letting everyone else make their mistakes. Looks like there may be some internet issues and a drive-through penalty for Jesse for speeding under the virtual safety car there, right as the virtual safety car comes out. A lot of penalties coming out all at once here. We'll take a look at penalties here. 3 drive-through penalties. Wow. For all of them speeding under the safety car, and it looks like there might be a safety car that comes out, maybe. And that's RTY with a spin, I think. We'll take a look at him back here. Yeah, it looks like he spun. But Flying Slug maintaining that lead from Tomos here, but Tomos is wanting to pounce. He's wanting to get into the lead again, driving that clear air where I think he functions very, very well here. And P237 looking to make a move on Energy Beam. All the drivers behind him have drive-through penalties, and the drivers behind them will get promoted. So it looks like, give me just a second, everyone. I need to invite. Sorry everyone, there is some internet issues going on here, and it looks like two of the drive-through penalty drivers have not served their drive-through here. They're going to want to serve it as soon as possible, so that way they can serve it under green flag running. And I am just looking at a clip here from what happened to the Ferrari, the first Ferrari that retired, and it was, oh, Ferrari on Ferrari. That is his teammate, and it looks like RTY retires as well. But it looks like the Ferrari of Kelders came together with Expert Bubbles, running him into the wall. It was a good start for the Ferraris, but just does not end well for them in this race. And yeah, just looking back at the clip, it did not look like it ended well for them. Jesse C is serving his drive-through, and so is McLaren of Shiny Rolex. They're serving their drive-throughs. Tomo's still not able to get past flying slug here. It looks like Tangerine Guy is having some internet issues here. Hopefully he can get back into the car and retake it. If not, then that's maybe a little bit of an issue for him. But yeah, just Flying Slug just maintaining the lead. Obviously he's quicker, and it looks like Tangerine Guy is retired from the session. That is a bummer for him. Obviously I think he wanted to finish well. Apologies, everyone. I'm trying to help people with their internet issues right now. Trying to send some invites. Apologies, I'm sending invites to people. There are some internet issues going on. Give me just a minute. I'll go back to our usual commentating, and Tomos overtakes the Flying Slug here for that position. And will Tomos maybe start pulling away from him, or will Flying Slug have the opportunity to overtake? But it looks like there's a yellow flag in Sector 1. It looks like it's the McLaren of Shiny Rolex, who was having a good... Oh my god! Nasty accident. There is a nasty accident. Virtual safety car. That needs to be a full safety car. Oh my god, that was painful to watch. Oh, that is a bummer. I wonder if the Red Bull will go onto those hard tires really early. And Silent and Pathy Boy have drive-through penalties for speeding under the virtual safety car. A lot of drive-through penalties going out. But let's recap on the 4 drivers that are out of the session here. Expert Bubbles 632 having it in it. Having an incident into turn 1 with his teammate Kelders. And then Kelders looks like he retired just because he was so far off the pace and there was nothing he could do. RTY, same thing, but Tangerine Guy, he retired because of internet issues. But Tomos now takes the for surely the race. I would imagine there is a penalty coming for him in the near future um, from the FIA. That looked like a nasty accident. I want to go back and see that, uh, see what happened there, because it just looked really nasty there. I would in the was that the Alpha Tauri? I think that might be the Alpha Tauri of Silent. What I saw in the background, yeah, it's the Alpha Tauri of Silent, who did not qualify and is up to P5, but he does have a drive-through penalty, not where he wants to be. And it looks like, yeah, so Tomos is just pulling away from Energy Beam. Pink 237 is just trying to overtake her. Looks like there's a yellow flag from Pathy Boy in Sector 2. I wonder if he had another spin from those tires, and Silent retires from this race. And the safety car comes out. I wonder if he had an incident here. So, yeah, he spun, so that's an incident. And Tomos comes in, he's probably going to be putting on the hard tires here. See if the hard tires do come on. In fact, here, I think everybody's going to be pitting. Yep, so hard tires going on for Tomos. I think everyone's going to be putting on the hard tires. No, Energy Beam's going on the mediums. So he is going on the mediums. Was he on the mediums before, or was he on the softs? Yeah, he was on the softs. Okay, that makes sense. A couple drivers, yeah, most of the drivers are probably going to be going out on the hard tire. Vaden goes on the medium. That's going to be a long way to pull those mediums, so maybe he's doing a two-stop. I think that's what he's going to have to be doing here. And once again, I'm going to mute myself to save my voice. And safety car will be in this lap. Thomas will maintain the lead of this race. Energy beam on the softer tire, but those medium tires will, in my opinion, degrade quickly. So I think anyone on the medium tires as of right now will commit themselves to a two-stop, except for I think DMJ Ben, sorry, will go onto the hard tires because I do not believe, I think he pit early off the soft tires because of an incident he had. So we will see what will happen here. We're going to ride on board with Energy Beam here. Honestly, in my opinion, I think if you finish the race, there's a good chance you're going to finish inside the points with only 3 drivers outside of the points as of right now. And Tom was waiting just a little bit to see if he could maybe bait the Energy Beam, the Alfa Romeo there, to overtake and maybe get a penalty. I think that's what he's trying to do. Maybe just jump him a little bit better. But no incidents as of yet. Hopefully he can get past Tomos and just kind of sit there, and as his tires start to go off, he can just defend like Fernando Alonso. 3-second time penalty for AGK Racing for track limits. No incidents as of yet, it looks like. I'm guessing that that might come a little bit later, but everyone's keeping it pretty clean. Go back behind here. I mean, looks like there's Alpine making a move on the Williams. The Williams will stick it around the outside, keep at P7 position here. Oh, and it looks like the Mercedes Vaden is off there. He's got a little bit of incident in the grass here, and he spun those tires in the grass. Are we going to see a move down the inside here? No, and he's just going to keep his lead here. But he does have the better run coming out of turn 2. And he will keep that lead, or keep that position there. And will the Williams fight back of Jesse? No, Jesse's going to slap back into P7 and maybe overtake when the DRS is activated. Those Alpines look quick in a straight line, so obviously I think they're running a little bit less downforce to maybe be quick in that straight line. Energy Beam still being able to keep within Tomos, but it looks like they're using the same amount of energy as they go throughout the lap, which is good for Tomos. AGK Racing going to make a move on Pink, and it looks like the move is completed there. Oh, it is everyone. I'm tired. TV8. Vaden looks like he's or no, I think it's Aiden. It is. It's TTV and then it's Aiden. Aiden. I think pit again for soft tires there. Tom was able to keep his lead, and DRS will be activated this lap here. Fastest lap with a 121.1 from Tomos there. However, the fastest lap in the sprint, I think, was a 120. So, you know, they're not quite to where they were in the sprint, even though the sprint race was a wet to dry conditions. I think they're just a little bit higher on fuel, and I think Tomos is playing a little bit more defensive positioning than he wants to. I think he really wants to just pull away and get out of this Alfa Romeo, and hopefully AGK Racing of the McLaren will just overtake him, and he can get on with it. But this DRS will help the Alfa Romeo be able to overtake. And Smart, he's not going to make the move into 9 and 10, but he is going to be really close going into turn 11. I think he's going to try and make the move here, or is he going to sit behind him there and maybe make the move on the main straight? We're right on board with him with Energy Beam here. I wonder when those medium tires will start to degrade. I think they'll start to degrade around lap maybe 20, 21. That's my prediction, at least. Yeah. I'm sorry. I wasn't looking at the chat before. I think he did get disconnected, and the AI retired car for him, which is a little bit of a bummer, but it is what it is. And it looks like there's a yellow flag, and the safety car is out. Looks like Pathy Boy had another incident, putting it into the wall. We'll see what happened to him. Let's go take a look at him. And, oh, and he's disqualified from the session. He was trying to get into the pit lane. That's a bummer. Drive-through penalty for AGK Racing. I think that was for speeding under the pit lane. I think that's what it was. Yeah, AGK Racing drive-through penalty for speeding in the pit lane. For speeding under safety car. It's a good time for Aiden to change his tires, and he's serving his penalty, I think. And once again, I am gonna mute myself. And safety car will be in this lap here. Apologies, I know the commentary isn't as what it was yesterday. I'm just trying to keep my voice here. Only two drivers outside the top 10, so it'll be an interesting finish. As long as you keep your car on track, it's gonna be interesting. This is gonna help the medium runners, however, just trying to get those tires to the end. And Tamus is out and away here, pretty clean away from Energy Beam. AGK Racing is not really in contention for the position there. He has a drive-through penalty, so I'm pretty sure he's just going to try and sit back, just maybe get pulled along, just to help him as much as he can as he goes through the pits here. Probably next lap. I would imagine that Boss's 980 is going to try and push to the cars in front of him to see if maybe he can fight for that P2, maybe even fight for the lead here. Tomo's using some energy, just trying to get away from Energy Beam here. However, I do know that those tires will start to hurt in the next couple of laps for Energy Beam, and I'm guessing he's going to start falling away pretty quickly. It's key that Tomo's keeps his lead here from the Alfa Romeo, because if he doesn't, even though this is an overtaking track, it is also really easy to defend on this track. So he wants to, maintain that lead, maybe even hopefully get outside of a second when it comes to DRS on this track. HK Racing is fighting for, at least a little bit, fighting for that position. We have the Williams of Mies in the pits here. I imagine he's going to slap on a set of mediums maybe, or maybe even a set of softs to get to the end, but that would be a long way on those soft tires. That's a set of used mediums. Looks like AGK Racing, he's going to have to serve his drive-through penalty pretty quickly. He has to serve it within 3 laps under green flag running of when he got the penalty. So he's probably going to serve it this lap. But he will come out, obviously, in front of the Williams. He is on those hard tires, too, so he won't have to pit again, which is good. So hopefully he can just catch back up to the pack and make obviously, it's going to only take 1 overtake or maybe 2 to get into the points here. So, hopefully that's what he'll do. He is going into the pits to serve that drive-through penalty. Ooh, a little bit of an instant going into the pits there. Almost damaged his front wing there. And DRS is enabled, so that we'll see it first on the back straight here. I think Energy Beam will try and overtake here. He is being smart with his ERS management. He's probably going to dump it on the straight here to see if he can overtake. So AGK Racing comes out about 7 seconds behind Aiden there in P10. So he will have to make an overtake to get into the points and just score some amount of points for him and his team. So I think that's going to be his plan. Is just get into the points and just do his best and maybe hope for another safety car. Jesse gets another 3-second time penalty for track limits. The DRS is working. Is there going to be there's a yellow flag, and it looks like it's the Red Bull of Flying Slug here. What happened to him? Was there a spin there? It looks like he damaged his front wing. But no virtual safety car or a full course safety car. So that is good. Looks like Mies is retiring on track, maybe, or maybe had a bit of a spin. And it looks like the Red Bull is retiring, and AGK Racing is back up into the points. It looks like Mies has retired. Oh, a lot of stuff going on right now. That was a weird glitch. It looks like Energy Beam just phased through him there. But will Bossis try and make an overtake on Tomos here? He is in contention for the, obviously definitely for the podium, but he's in the podium places. But the top three are all separated by less than a second. So I think maybe Bossis might try and get the Haas here. I think Energy Beam's job is to just pull away, just use those tires the best you can. And it looks like we have a Williams, Jesse C. He has some front wing damage there. Flying Slub coming out of the pits on those soft tires. Probably going to go for, at least try and go for a fastest lap and catch P237. Tomos with a 3-second penalty, so that promotes Bosses up into the into P2, excuse me for just a moment. I am receiving a phone call. Apologies for that. You never say you never decline your mother's phone call, so I had to answer. She's going to Costco and I was wondering if I needed food. But we'll come back to the race here. As we see, Energy Beam is I would say not necessarily pulling away, but maintaining his lead over Tomos. But he just needs to stay with it. Even if Tomos overtakes him, just needs to stay within 3 seconds of him, and Energy Beam gets the win here. And Tomos is all over the rear end of Energy Beam here, and I think he just wants to get away from Energy Beam, just try and do his best to pull out those 3 seconds, but looks like Energy Beam is just going to do the best he can to, hold on to that position here. And I love this camera angle of all the cars coming around the corner, and we can see the moves being made here. Is Tomos going to make a move into turn 1? No, he's not. He's going to slap back behind and maybe make a move into turn 3 here, as long as he gets a good exit compared to the Alfa Romeo. And he's going to slap back in again. He's just biding his time here. And it looks like Tomos does overtake Energy Beam here, and Energy Beam will be, vulnerable to the McLaren, or the Alpine behind him, because there's not another DRS detection point. So the next DRS detection point is going into, let's see, so that's turn 13, and when he was pushed wide there from Bosses. Now, Tomos needs to use all of that ERS, dump it as much as he can here, and it looks like all the drivers in the lead are outside of the DRS of each other. I wonder if Bosses is going to get the DRS on Tomos. Was he close enough? And it looks like there's going to be some lapped cars maybe in the way. Oh, no, that was, I apologize. Wow, there's already lapped cars. It did not look like he had DRS on Tomos, so Tomos needs to just pull away, because right now he's looking at a P3 finish here, and Energy Beam needs to just push, because that Haas of Ben is right behind him, so right now in DRS contention, but Ben also has a time penalty, so Ben's probably hoping he can get pulled on. As of right now, it looks like Tomos would finish. I think he still might finish P3 with his 3-second time penalty. But he needs to just push. And Connor Ottmere gets a 3-second time penalty. as long as Tomos is able to stay within 3 seconds, we will move to, let's stop, leader here, because that's going to be the true test of whether he's, and it looks like he's just outside of 3 seconds here, but Energy Beam is under threat from the Haas behind him, and I think Bosses needs to just stay here, and the Alpine gets the win here. If he can stay in this position here, he gets the win. But Ben gets back up into the podium positions, but as of right now, he won't get that because Energy Beam does not have a time penalty. As we can see here, yeah, he does not have a time penalty. So we're going to look at this because this is going to be what we judge as, you know, who places where. Because as of right now, Energy Beam will place P3. He'll take the lead from Ben here. Bosses will take the win here, but it looks like Ben is pulling up behind Bosses here, so it's crucial. Now with the cars in P2 down to P4 all having DRS on each other, I think, you know, if Bosses wants to maybe pull some of those drivers along and just keep demoting Tomos. Obviously with Ben having that 3 second as well, it's gonna just not, he's not really in the fight for this, but if he can maybe do a little bit of strategy for his teammate, if he can get in front of the Alpine here and slow up that Alpine so that Tomos can keep that lead, I think that might be the way to go here. And yeah, Ben gets around the Alpine here. Now, will there be some games being played through these drivers here? Are there going to be maybe some slowing on the corners? I don't know. I think the team game really needs to be played here from Ben because he is not in the position to take the win, but his teammate definitely is. So he needs to really slow down on those corners and just try and help his teammate out here the best that he can, and maybe even fight with the Alpine, just not necessarily on purpose, but just get in a battle with him just to slow that Alpine up as much as possible. Because right now, the Alpine still takes the win of this race. So, and Aiden gets another time penalty, giving him a total of 9 seconds. But it looks like Ben is able to just maintain just within 3 seconds of his teammate, but right now, neither of them have a chance at the win here, so I don't know if anyone's listening or not, but I think someone needs to be yelling at Ben right now to, you know, oh, and Bosses gets a time penalty, and that would promote Energy Beam all the way up to P1. Energy Beam needs to push as hard as he can. He's on those medium tires. Those medium tires are screaming, but he needs to push, push, push. He needs to use that DRS. He needs to... Wow, that is a bummer for Bosses here. He's got to have his hand in his... Oh, wow. So Bosses needs to push here. He's still staying within 3 seconds of Tomos. Will this really help him here? That needs to just, even with those 3 seconds, push back, because that will push back Energy Beam. It will cause them to battle. Because right now, I would say they're all fighting for position. At least Ben and Bosses are. But Energy Beam, he needs to maybe get in some clear air. Maybe he needs to get around these guys to start pushing towards Tomos. The squabbling between these two are not helping him, at least. But you know, this is helping the Haas team in general. things were to end right now, Energy Beam would take P1, Thomas would take P2, Ben would take P3, and Bosses would take P4. Connor would be, stay where he is. Aiden would be dropped down to P7, it looks like, maybe P8, so these penalties are not going to be helping out these drivers here. Energy Beam is now is now 4/10 ahead, technically, of Tomos, which is he is not going to be seeing, or not going to be liking, and he can see that on his timing screen. So he's going to want to push as hard as he can these last couple laps here, where there's 2 laps to go. We have 2 laps to go in this. Energy Beam is probably pushing as hard as he can here. He's just going to stick behind these drivers here, use that DRS to pull him along as these two battle each other. And if everything were to finish right now, he would take P1. Energy Beam maybe had a little bit of a moment there. He's now out. He's now a 10th behind the P1 position. But that DRS is just helping and pulling him back into that place here. This is the battle. Not necessarily a battle, but this is what we want to see. This is the type of racing we want to see here. It looks like he's just looking for a little bit of clean air, maybe looking for an opportunity to battle. I wonder if Tomos is just dumping his ERS right now, just hoping that he can, keep that lead, because as of right now, he takes the win. So I imagine that Energy Beam he's going to dump his ERS on this lap here. Use all of it. No mistakes here from him, and he takes the win. Oh, and the Haas is off. The other Haas is out. Not out, at least, but he was off. He was probably pushed off by Bosses there. So Bosses will take P3 at the moment behind Energy Beam, and Energy Beam's tires are just going out here, but he does have 2 more DRS zones to pull him back into contention for this win here. What is going to happen on this last lap? Will Tomos takes the lead with that 3-second time penalty, or will Energy Beam keep or push hard enough just to take the win here? He is out of energy, but currently he's within 3 seconds. And yeah, that Alpine was going really slow there. Too slow for his liking. He doesn't want to battle in here. I don't think he really wants to overtake here. He has to brake early to just not deal with this Alpine. If this Alpine wasn't here, he would have had to win this. He would have won this race. Now he will have the DRS down the main straight. That will really help him here. 1/10 of a second. What are we going to see here? 2/10 of a second. What's the split? Oh, and he spins. He spun. He had the win in the palm of his hand, and Bosses takes the P2. He had the win in the palm of his hands. And on the last corner of the last lap, he spins. And it looks like Jesse is going to retire from here, or he's just going really slow. Maybe have a little bit of an incident here. He has no front wing. Wow, that I feel really bad for Energy Beam. Still a podium, but that is just an absolute bummer. Congratulations to Tomos. He takes the win of this race. However, there will be some penalties being dealt out, I would imagine, here. So this is definitely not over, but at the same time, good job to all the drivers. Congratulations. And as we wrap up here, I'm going to mute myself so you guys can enjoy the podium here. And after the podium, you guys can see the results, and the stream will be ending. Thank you for tuning in, everybody, and I hope you had a great day.